that is, the Lord reciprocates with that mood of service. And from their side, there's so many varieties, and from the Lord's side, there's so many varieties, because He's unlimited, and so there's so many varieties. And when there's varieties amongst the servants, there's no enmity or envy or competition or any of that, the unwanted stuff that happens in the Kunta realm. And on that basis, Narada is reasoning, and Gopa Kumar is also reasoning with his intelligence to his mind. My dear mind, please stop this. Manashiksha. Instructions to the mind. Please stop this. Everything's all right. And yet there's an unfulfilled hankering, and that is this unfulfilled hankering. This is this greed that Rupa Goswami speaks about in Nectar of Devotion. The eagerness that cannot be satisfied with anything else other than this connection with the personality of Godhead, and the language used over and over and over by our acharyas is natural. It's natural. But Narada here and later on in Dwaraka, Narada and Uddhava both considered themselves not qualified like Gopa Kumar is qualified, because they can't even dream of aspiring for the relationship with Krishna and Vrindavan. They're Vaikuntavasi folks, or Dwarakavasi folks, and that's their happiness. So with their happiness, they're not envious of the residents of Vrindavan. They're looking up to the residents of Vrindavan and wishing for their mercy. Brahma's looking for their mercy. Like Uddhava, let me be born a blade of grass. There's a section in chapter 47 when Uddhava goes to Vrindavan to deliver Krishna's message, and he experiences what he experiences, starting with Nanda, Jasoda, and then the gopis. And the commentary said, Vishwanath writes in his commentary, I asked the gopis again and again, please place your feet on my head. I asked them again and again, and they refused. They were shy. They hid their feet. So the only thing I can think of is, let me undergo austerities so I can take birth as a blade of grass and they can walk on my head. Because if they give the dust from their feet, then I can get that same mood of love that they have that I'm not eligible for now until I get the mercy of the gopis, to have the mood of love that they have. Because they have that mood of love, Krishna has the same love for them, because he's that I don't have that love. They do. The way to get that love is their mercy. So they refuse. They won't give me the dust from their feet. I mean, it sounds poetic and kind of a little odd and maybe cute or something, but the residents in Vrindavan are very special. So he's giving here in Vaikunta, he's giving lessons about, in one sense, it's the same, and in the other sense, he understands the mood of Gopa Kumar is the same, but it's not the same. He can see the form of the Lord, but all the pastimes and everybody in that same mood is a whole grand orchestration of that mood of love, of Braja Prem. He's hankering for that experience. And that carries him. The Lord of Vaikunta arranges for him to go to the next place. He goes to Ayodhya. The Lord Ramachandra arranges for him to go to Dwarka. He knows. And he arranges. It's pretty amazing. I mean, Yeyatamam prapadyante tang sadaiva bhajami. We know the verse from Bhagavad Gita, but the practical application of that verse in the higher realms, woo. I wouldn't want to read a scholarly review because they would probably just be offensive. It's so elevated. How can they touch it? But they try. Okay, so let's see if there's some puzzled questions in discussion. Yeah, okay.
So like whenever we hear the glories of Goloka or Vaikunta, either one, obviously, for me personally, like the purpose of practicing Krishna consciousness is to end up with Krishna and be with Krishna. However, like when we hear those glories, I think like sometimes I'm thinking selfishly in the sense that I just want to be in an environment where there's no stress, there's no anxiety, eternal happiness. So how do we get rid of, obviously the fact that wanting to be with Krishna, but how do we get rid of I would think like selfish motivation that I just want to be stress-free, eternally happy, to the sense where like you don't even care if you're in Vaikunta or not?
Well, two things. There's many things, but here's two things. I remember hearing one lecture, and then later I saw it transcribed as a BTG article. Prabhupada was saying that in the beginning it's good to want to be with Krishna. In the more elevated stage, Krishna, you can do with me whatever you like. But in the beginning stage, it's good to want to be with. No, thank you.